Hi everybody. Today we're going to continue on our series with the 2023 Australian Rum Advent Calendar with this little number, which is from a very fragrantly named company called the Devil's Thumb Distillery, which is located in the far north of Queensland. In point of fact, I think it may be one of the most furthest northerly distilleries making rum in Australia, with perhaps only Hochery being a shade more north. That means it lies in the tropical belt, and it is about 1,800 kilometers north of Brisbane along the coast. The company was founded around 2019, so it's of relatively recent vintage. And so far as I'm aware, it has two owners, one of whom is Mark Norman, the head distiller. He seems to be a bit of a part-timer and has a real day job like I do. And the other one is a gentleman by the name of, I think it was Craig Parcell, who is something of an entrepreneur. He has created other companies in the past in the leisure sector. They created this outfit probably to explore the potential of liquor making, craft distilling in Queensland, which of course has a long and strong reputation for doing so, and put together this outfit with two very interesting stills. One of them is a 1,000-litre pot still that they call Roberta. It was made in the south of Australia. I'm not quite sure by who, and that produces most of their rums, but they also have a second still called Carry, which is 1,200 litres, and that tends to make a lighter spirit that they're going to make lighter rums with, they make their gins with, they're experimenting with their whiskies with. For the moment, the double retort pot still called Roberta is the one that we are looking at here that makes this. Now, what's very interesting about this company is that they make cane juice rum. They don't make molasses-based rum, and that partly comes from the advantage of living in a sugar-producing area, which is very useful. The Mossman Sugar Refinery produces the distillate for them, or not the distillate, but the cane juice for them, and since they're quite nearby, they can immediately go to work on it. They have a fermentation period of about 6 days, and they use both commercial and wild yeast to make this happen, and then they run it through Roberta, and then over a period of about 6 weeks, they gradually reduce it down to 48%, which is what it's bottled at, and they don't bother aging it, they don't add anything to it, and so on. It isn't chill filtered or anything, so what you're getting is something really quite pure. I really like this thing. When you're thinking that you have a double retort pot still, and you have cane juice, and you've got a 6-day fermentation cycle, you're kind of looking at some very interesting results. For example, on the nose, right away, you're not going to believe this, but I'm actually smelling cordite, gunpowder, firecrackers that go off on the 4th of July, that kind of thing. There is a certain minerality and ashiness to it, which is actually quite pleasing, as well as, of course, plastic, turpentine, that sort of thing, as if you're just stripping off your first new iPhone or unwinding furniture or something like that. But it isn't all bad. It's simply quite unusual, and aside from that, you also get a number of dustier notes of flaking paint in an old house, old papers, that kind of thing. But you also get leather, you get a little bit of smoke, and then towards the end, once you let it breathe and open up a bit, you do get a certain amount of fruits, primarily citrus, raisins, lychees, that kind of thing. Quite tart, very nice. It really is a quite interesting note. For sheer originality, I just love this thing. The taste isn't bad either. Really quite nice. Again, you get a bit of upholstery here, you get a bit of leather, you get a bit of smoke, you get a bit of plastic. What I like about it is the more organic flavors, such as the cucumbers in a light cane vinegar kind of thing, with a little bit of pimento. You tend to find these sometimes in sushi joints, perhaps. I like that kind of flavor a lot. There is some very tart soursop mangoes just on the edge of turning overripe. There's a little bit of vanilla. I don't know where that comes from, since this thing isn't aged. A little bit of spiciness here. It actually goes down really quite well. There isn't very much to complain about here, and quite frankly, for its sheer originality, I think I rate this thing actually quite highly. Initially, I thought I was going to give this about 85 points, but I think I'm going to give it just 86, just to edge it over into 4-star territory here. This is batch 13, which means that there are 12 batches ahead of it, and they're probably by now, I don't know what batch they're into. It's really quite fascinating to see what they do. But the important thing to understand is that this is a rum that tends to tell you a little bit more about terroir than an aged rum possibly would. This is one of the reasons why white rums are so interesting. And I really do believe that it's worth a buy if you can still find it. I have no idea what any of the others are like. All I know is that this one really turned my crank. I really liked it a lot. And I quite believe that if they continue along this path, we're talking something seriously. I mean, it has won an award already, just like their gins have. So it's not like they're playing around with nothing and just kind of like got lucky once. No, this is real skill here. So I do give it an endorsement, 86 points, I think. And quite frankly, I kept this glass on the go for the best part of a day just to see what else would come out of the damn thing. It's really that interesting. So give it a shot, read the review for any additional details, and I really do hope you enjoy it yourself if you ever manage to get it. So I'll talk to you next time, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.